Today we're learning some very useful vocabulary. Keep on watching to learn some different ways to say cheap and expensive. Now these two words, cheap and expensive, are among the most common adjectives out there, and I thought it would be time to teach you how to say them differently. We don't always want to say, this is cheap, this was so cheap, this is so cheap, blah blah blah. Boring. And it's not just boring, sometimes it doesn't adequately describe something. So today I'm going to give you different words that kind of more accurately describe these two very important adjectives because we work with them all the time. So stick with me and learn some new great words. So let's start with cheap. The first synonym, and this is a direct synonym, meaning you can use it interchangeably, is inexpensive. So if something is inexpensive, it means it's cheap. It just doesn't cost a great deal.
You recommend to me a good, inexpensive hotel or motel?
Inexpensive? Very cheap. In fact, free.
Discarded pizza boxes are an inexpensive source of cheese.
This one you can use for most things. So instead of saying cheap, just say inexpensive. I bought an inexpensive pair of headphones last month and they're already broken. Okay, now another direct synonym for cheap is, I forgot the word. Another direct synonym for cheap is low priced. Again, this is interchangeable, so you can use cheap, you can use inexpensive, or you can use low priced. We have low priced vehicles for so many different models. The next synonym for cheap is affordable. Now, yes, of course, this is a synonym. We can talk about something cheap being affordable, but I think I hear this a lot with big ticket items. So if something that is, kind of usually expensive or usually is worth a lot of money, so I'm talking about things like a car or a house or something, that's kind of usually pretty expensive. It doesn't cost too much. It's cheaper than we expect it to be. Maybe we can say that it's affordable. It's hard to find a car that's affordable and well-made. The next one is cost-effective, and this one is one of those synonyms that has a very specific meaning. So not only is it cheap, but it produces some good effect without costing a lot of money. So it's kind of like good for the price, cost-effective. It does the job and it doesn't have to cost you a lot. These cost-effective rubber boots are great for the winter season in Seattle. Our next adjective is budget, and don't confuse this one with the noun budget because they mean slightly different things. When used as an adjective, just stands for inexpensive. It's just a synonym for cheap. I don't like traveling on budget airlines because they don't even serve water. Our next synonym is reasonable, and this is another one that's not quite a direct synonym for cheap. So if something is reasonable, it just kind of means that the pricing is not necessarily too cheap, but more like fair or moderate, not too expensive.
Sell this land for a reasonable price.
It's a very nice house, and the price is reasonable.
My associates and I are willing to negotiate a reasonable price.
It's not more or less, it's just fair. But of course you can use it as a synonym for cheap in the context that you're talking about fair prices. The store is selling clothes at reasonable prices. The next word is steal, and for this one I don't mean the verb to steal, it's a noun. So when you refer to something as a steal, that's kind of how we use it, it just means it's so cheap, almost like you stole it.
Goddamn steal.
At $312,000, it's a steal.
Got great valuation. It's a steal, dude.
It shouldn't be that cheap. It should be illegal that it's that cheap, but it is. So this was probably one of my favorites because if I find something that's a steal, I'm having a great day. I didn't have to pay a lot of money, so life is great. At $16, these leather boots were an absolute steal. Our next synonym is bargain, and this one just kind of means the same as steal, except I think steal is more informal, but really they mean the same thing. It just means something really, really cheap. And usually bargain has the implication that whatever item you bought it on a sale for a price that's usually much lower than expected, and maybe you just got a really good sale or deal. $3 for a pair of sunglasses? That's a bargain. Okay, so now that you know some wonderful synonyms for cheap, how about we talk about expensive? I just realized these are not going to be as fun as cheap because nobody likes to talk about expensive things. So we're going to start with the most kind of direct synonym for expensive, and this one is costly. Now pay attention how you pronounce this word because you do not hear the T. It's a very subtle, almost silent T. It just means costing a lot. If something's costly, it costs a lot of money. So it's expensive. It's costly. We have to do some costly repairs to our home. Our next synonym is overpriced. And this one has a slightly different meaning, and it just kind of means if something's overpriced, it costs more than it should. Yes, it's expensive, but it shouldn't be this expensive. It's way too much. It's overpriced. Many American goods in Europe are overpriced. The next one is pricey, and this is kind of like costly. It's kind of a direct synonym for expensive, and it just means costing a lot of money. It's expensive. Health insurance is pricey. The next one is valuable, and this one kind of has two meanings. One of them is obviously directly related to money. If something is valuable, it means it's worth a lot of money.
There is a valuable painting hidden in here.
Here, your valuable property.
This is valuable equipment. Make sure it is properly secured for the voyage.
But it can also mean that it has another kind of value as well. It doesn't necessarily have to be about money. So something valuable to you could be maybe something one of a kind.
We believe that the input of our citizens is extremely valuable.
You're wasting valuable time.
I'm sure he's going to learn a valuable lesson.
I'll say this many times when we're talking about valuable, we are talking about I hear it with jewelry a lot. So, like a ring or earrings or something will be valuable. The ring my mother gave me is valuable. Our next word is extravagant. And I would say that this one also has a slightly different meaning. Usually when something is extravagant, it costs a little bit more than you can afford or more than you should pay for it. Extravagant is kind of connected to like a life of luxury. So extravagant can also be more than something reasonable. It's just too much. What's the most extravagant thing you've ever bought? Mine was a pair of boots. Our next word is lavish, and I put extravagant and lavish together because they're kind of related. So when we're talking about lavish, it's kind of still that idea of that lifestyle. If it's something that is elaborate, that it's expensive, that a lot of money was spent on it, and maybe just something that's a little bit abundant. Lavish. It's really kind of luxurious. That's a lavish buffet. So maybe you've noticed that these words have kind of gone from just expensive to like crazy expensive. Well, our next word is even crazier on the expensive scale, and it is exorbitant. Something is exorbitant, it means that it is at an unreasonably high price. The price is so high that it's just no. Why would you pay so much for this? It is exorbitant. So whenever you use this word, you wouldn't just describe expensive, but you would describe something so expensive that it is almost insane.
I was wondering if I could pay you an exorbitant amount of money to move your wedding date?
You're asking an exorbitant sum. Now,
Joe, I got it right here.
Besides drugs and prostitution, they also lent money to refugees for exorbitant rates.
Completely unreasonable. It doesn't make any sense, yet it costs this much. Exorbitant. San Francisco has exorbitant housing prices. And their next synonym is kind of an idiom. Well, it's not kind of, it's an idiom. Therefore, it's a little bit less formal, and it is an arm and a leg. It means very expensive, not as expensive as exorbitant, but it just means very, very expensive. Tennis equipment costs an arm and a leg. Okay, so now I want you to practice these words that we've just learned. So what I want you to do is in the comments, use one of the words we learned and tell us about something you think is cheap or expensive. Remember, the more you use the vocabulary, the better it will stick in your mind. So, if you want to tell us about 10 things, 20 things, whatever, the better you'll remember them. I hope you enjoyed this lesson and learned some new vocabulary words. If you did, please give us some love, thumbs up, share, whatever you want to do. I also hope that your purchases in the future are not exorbitant or extravagant, but instead they are reasonable and affordable. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.